Welcome back, round 13, Toronto Regional Championships in Ontario. We've got ourselves former NAIC 2018 champion, former 2014 world champion, facing off with a couple interesting decks, trying to get out of the field of just Trevmirs and IDs this close to the end of the tournament. So the situation these players are in, a win puts them in the tie, the ability to tie for the last round. I believe that will give them what we believe to be the bubble, which is 30 points.
Okay. Yep.
So with that being said, Stephane will be on the left side of your screen. And as we saw yesterday in round one, playing that Wobbuffet Hitmonchan. And we had to take the opportunity to get kind of the deck of the tournament, the surprise deck of the tournament from these Canadian players, which is Trevenant with Pyroar.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not like just the Litlium and Pyroar is really committed to that Ditto Prism Star. So please keep that in mind here, that if Stephane can time the play of getting that Ditto out right away, we can see that Pyroar never come to effect. And using that intimidating main ability there, any basic Pokemon are unable to attack Pyroar with that ability.
So that's going to be crucial, obviously. However, in the age of information free-flowing, we've had almost all of the top 32 lists. If Stephane's done his homework throughout this tournament and followed the Pokestats and stuff like that, he should know some of the contents of the list. He should be aware that Pyroar is going to come into play here and is going to be a priority for Andrew in his setup. And if he can aggressively target down that Ditto, there is no other way for that Pokemon to come into play.
And he does play Rescue Scarf, I believe here. He does play the Rescue Scarf, so there's a lot of back and forth here that could be saving that Ditto as well. So I'm just curious how that's all going to play out here for Stephane. And big thing to note, typically Stephane's able to work around different abilities because of Wobbuffet's Bide Barricade. But disclaimer, it only works for everything that is not Psychic. So Trevenant's Forest Curse is going to be live the whole game.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. These players setting up, drawing their opening sevens. We'll go down there in a second. Stephane finds one. Andrew Estrada has a Phantom, as you'll see here shortly as well. So let's be honest, this is something that could go sideways for Stephane very quickly. But we definitely wanted to showcase the strength of this Pyroar tech in Andrew Estrada's deck, and also how it fares against what was a deck that was being hyped up walking into the tournament.
And one thing to note here too is that we've seen the Trevenant deck not get set up efficiently here in the earlier rounds yesterday in day one. So there's still a chance here. We can't automatically rule out here that Stephane's completely out of this game just yet.
Andrew with a phenomenal start. Natural Bridget just in his opening hand. I would be shocked if I didn't see Phantom Ditto Prism if it's in the deck. Is it prized?
Ooh, hold on.
Did he prize the Ditto Prism?
Skim through. I don't see those edges. I don't see the edges.
I was going to see if Ditto Prism is in the deck, he has the Rescue Scarf in hand to get it down to avoid maybe that turn one aggressive play of getting it knocked out. But looks like we're going to have just a more traditional Trevenant versus Hitmonchan Wobbuffet matchup here, because that Ditto Prism does seem to be prized. 0% chance Andrew doesn't grab it if it's in the deck.
Exactly there. So we do see the quad Phantom start here now. Because that Ditto does appear to be prized as well. I'm sure a big sigh of relief for Stephane. However, and not having items is still very tough to deal with.
Absolutely. Stephane really going to have to do his best on this first turn of the game to get as many items as he can out and get himself as set up as possible. Mystery Energy coming down on the Phantom on the bench. Not willing to leave it out in the active for a potential knockout, lose an energy situation.
Make him work for it there.
Karina in hand for Stephane. Looks like he's eyeing that up right now.
Currently doesn't have a Wobbuffet out either there. It's not going to really affect Andrew too much here, but it's a good wall Pokemon to go into. So he's probably looking to eye down, getting the Hitmonchan setup here, and getting one additional item as well. It's probably Diancie to Nest Ball, more than likely is what we're going to see here, or Versier to chain off Karina the following turn. I can't tell what's all in his hand.
Diancie off the Karina, maybe we'll say an Adventurer's Bag for a Muscle Band or a Floatstone or something like that. Tons of options here for Stephane. However, that Diancie will allow that 30 plus 50 Phantom's resistant, but you get a Muscle Band if you get Adventurer's Bag, and he has a Prism Energy in hand. He can take a quick knockout. If Andrew Estrada's hand is flat, then maybe Stephane can get far enough ahead before the Pyro really comes into effect.
Power, even the Trevenant lock. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to safely see Ascension next turn with that Phantup. He may be eyeing an Enhanced Hammer as well to go ahead and get rid of that Mystery Energy. We'll see what he decides here. There's definitely a couple outs here, but I like your play of Strong Energy's already in hand. Diancie, 30, 50, 70. And he's a Muscle Band. He'll be able to take the KO on that Phantup.
Stephane making a decision. I believe that's Computer Search and Diancie. So getting all the damage modifiers down ASAP. Something to note, though, 4 copies of VS Seeker in Stephane's deck, 3 copies of Guzma. So if Andrew leans too heavily on this intimidating roar, then Stephane can just Guzma around. So if he takes a couple quick knockouts here before that's set up, then whatever Andrew's placed on the bench is just cannon fodder to be Guzma'd up and hit and run.
And that's going to be the key thing here is if Andrew can keep them all as single prizes here. I mean, you can only cap your bench out at 5 Pokemon there. So while Pyroar can't be knocked out there, if Andrew does place enough bench down for 6 Pokemon like you're mentioning, there is a route there from Stephane as well. And Kartana.
Kartana GX, slice off, knockout. All right, Andrew, what do you got? He's got a Sycamore in hand. Stephane has 4 cards left. Phantom coming up. Mystery Treasure?
Mysterious Treasure, Espeon EX. Probably not going to need Espeon EX at all this game, so it's probably going to get discarded here with the Mysterious Treasure.
Dimension Valley comes down. That's a free Ascension if Andrew wants it. Maybe just going to go for the Natural Evolution.
Yep, looks like he's going to do that. Well, he could just do the Evolve at the bench one, yep, and then go Ascension on to get the second Trevenant from XY set and active spot here. Oh, he's going to have 3 Trevs here.
Interesting. Mysterious Treasure, the Rescue Scarf. With the Espeon. Did the Espeon go down to the first Mysterious Treasure?
Yeah, first Treasure with an Espeon, and then the second one was the Rescue Scarf.
And I believe one of the last cards in Andrew Estrada's hand is Professor Sycamore. So just whittling that hand down.
Oh, wow.
And there it is.
Yeah, you're going to be throwing the cards to the bin anyway, so you might as well get some use and value out of them. Interesting. Here, I'm looking at his list here, and he plays the Blend Energy. I'm guessing assumed to attack with Pyroar as well. He has 2 Blend Energies that has the, what's that, Grass, Psychic Fire, and Dark.
That sounds right. Basic Psychic Attachment. Has the other energy in hand. Rescue Scarf, I like it. We're going to see an Ascension to a Trevenant. Forest Curse. Items are down for Stephane's side of the board. We do know he is holding another energy. I believe it is a Prism. So with the Diancie still in hand, we will be able to get those damage modifiers up and start doing some considerable damage
so
to the Trevenant.
30, 50, 70, 90 now, Resistance back to 70, and Juniper away, 2 Verse Seekers.
So that's tough considering what we were just discussing. However, the way this match is shaping up, maybe Pyroar won't come into effect this match too much. So Stephane feeling comfortable getting rid of those despite having the ability right now to deal some very solid damage. Shrine of Punishment coming down, gonna make Andrew need at least another energy to be able to Silent Fear if he does get that Trevenant break.
One thing to note here is that Andrew does play 4D Valley to Stephane's 3 Shrine here. So in theory, Andrew should be winning the Stadium War here. But if any of those D values are prized or anything like that, Stephane can keep constantly bumping these Dimension Valleys and slowing down these Silent Fears to come up here shortly.
What's interesting, if Andrew finds a Dimension Valley can do some considerable work on these Pokemon, fighting Pokemon that are Psychic weak with Tree Slam. Silent Fear works a little differently. It spreads 30, puts 3 damage counters down, but Tree Slam is 60 damage and 20.
And allows you to apply that weakness. It's not damage counters, it's actually direct damage.
Correct. So Mystery Energy coming down on the Trevenant on the bench, which leads me to believe we're going to eye up a Silent Fear. Another Enhanced Hammer. How many copies of Enhanced Hammer?
Does run 3 Enhanced Hammers, so that's number 2. And Stephane's deck is all special energy, so you see the Silent Fear come down, and let's see a Juniper, and it looks like a Prism Energy as well, or also Wobbuffet.
Couple Wobs, Juniper. Stephane doing a great job concealing that hand from us, so we can't really get a strong idea of what's going on.
Yeah, he wants to hopefully see a beast energy here as well, off this Juniper if possible. So that's be what 30, 50, 80, 100 minus the 80. Still be just shy on that Trevenant there. Um, but at least he's getting that bonus from the Diancie plus or the Diancie ability right now.
Beast
So
energy.
uh,
Beast energy off that Juniper and a Shrine of Punishments to bounce the D Valley. Does that get us there?
he'd still be 10 short with the beast energy if I did my math right there. 30, 50, 80, then the Diancie 100 minus resistance back to 80. And Trev has 160 HP there, so it'll still be 10 short. But the Shrine bumping the Dimension Value is crucial.
It is to note that it is ticking up damage on his own Kartana GX.
Oh, that is very, very true.
Beast energy coming through. Andrew draws for turn. Counter catcher is live right now. Might be a good way to get something trapped in the active.
It might be that Kartana coming up here into active spot.
Andrew with the whole world in front of him here. Rescue Scarf going down on Trevenant XY there with the Mystery Energy.
Actually, it might be the Diancie. I think the Kartana only has a 1 retreat cost. Here's the Diancie might be coming up here with the heavy 2 retreat cost. Yep.
Worth considering bringing up the Kartana just because you have to commit to it and it gets knocked out later.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think if you're forcing them to hard retreat with an energy attachment.
Oh, counter catcher into the Ace Trainer.
Oh boy.
With Diancie
Oh,
active
boy.
here. This is
We haven't seen Ace Trainer on camera in these last 2 days, Jeff. What does Ace Trainer read?
So Ace Trainer is when you shuffle your hand to your deck, and depending on where your prize count is at, if you are ahead on prizes, they're going to draw 3 cards, and if you are behind on prizes, you get to draw 6 cards here. So it's a pseudo N in a sense there, and just as you can see here, it puts Stephane down to 3 cards here. Off of that counter catcher is really going to disrupt that board.
Dimension Valley being found off that Ace Trainer. Another Silent Fear announced. Diancie up to 60 damage. Buzzwole on the bench up to 60 damage. And that Kartana up to 80 damage because the 2 Shrine Ticks.
2 Shrine Ticks.
Stephane looking at the 3 cards, now 4 in hand. Asking Andrew a question here.
Does he have Guzma in hand?
Guzma would be nice, but wouldn't provide too much reprieve, I don't think.
He's got to keep applying pressure here, so I think he's going to probably go after the Shaman and hopefully play some, not Shaman, the Tapu Lele and get some items played in his hand if he has enough. But it doesn't look like it here. He's going to take the Trevenant without the energy and start attacking that.
Worth noting that with that Guzma coming in, Stephane's hitting into it, but that item lock has not been broken up.
Yep.
And Russell Lepar very adamant yesterday. If I'm playing a Guzma against Trevenant, I'm doing it when I have Versus Seeker, and I'm opening up my items to buy it back.
Understandably there. And it looked like he even had a computer search in hand, so you could have like begin that chain, but it might not have been enough there to like discard his whole hand just for that play.
Andrew Estrada does have his 1 copy of Counter Energy in hand, which means the Dimension Valley's still in play. Tree Slam is open, and that's a knockout.
That's going to be a knockout right away on the Buzzwole.
And that is a knockout and putting some serious damage on that Kartana on the Diancie.
Yep,
Tree Slam knockout. Give me 20 on those.
And then Shrine going to add that addition. Oh, no, the Dimension Valley, sorry. So no Shrine there. 100 damage staying on that Kartana.
Ugh. Andrew Estrada really showing the strength of Trevenant in this field this weekend. Stephane unable to really get anything going, despite the fact that what we thought was going to be the crucial cards in Andrew's deck was that Pyroar didn't even show up to play, and it just doesn't really seem to matter.
This deck really struggling with this Trevenant matchup here. I mean, a lot of the cards is based around items. I mean, you got to be able to use items to accelerate your strategy, and with Trevenant locking that out, it's really hard to promote that there.
Kartana in front here did hit a Prism Energy, Muscle Band. I saw a Nest Ball in there, and maybe a Strong Energy. And I think you just slice off, or not slice off, but Blade GX, excuse me, and just take a prize. However, taking that prize, that counter energy is still good to go.
I mean, I think that he's just kind of accepting it almost at this point right now. I mean, Andrew can evolve here. He can even, he might even do a Tree Slam again. and do it for that 40 damage just to kind of accelerate this this prize race here. Looks like, was that a Faba to get rid of the Prism Energy?
Let's check the flow chart here. That was a Faba to get rid of that Prism Energy in the loss zone that Stephane's put under his GX marker. And that damage is stacking up quick, and the next attack here on Kartana is at least going to take Diancie and Kartana with it. Counter Energy will be off. However, Dimension Valley in play and Mystery Energy can keep attacking.
I'm trying to think right now what left Stephane has that he can do right now. I think he's just kind of he's probably accepted his matchup here, and maybe more so for the views at this point, because I don't see any way right now he can come back into his matchup right now.
Versus Seeker, Faba, Silent Fear. Or nope, just Tree Slam, excuse me.
Tree Slam. Man.
Prism Energy, not going to hit
Double
and run
Nest
into
Ball,
anything.
Prism. Yep, there it is.
So that Prism Energy wasn't going to unlock anything. It was going to unlock a little chip shot on that Trevenant, and then Tree Slam was coming back. This Forest Curse ability has really shown why it's always been kind of a looming presence over the expanded format, that whenever you decide to not take it into consideration, people roll up with it and people ravage tournaments. And that's what's happening today. The top 4 decks, I believe, going into today, Trevenant Break. Some variations regular, some variations with Pyroar. Andrew Estrada on the Canadian squad playing the Pyroar tech, and it has just, I guarantee you, feasted on these Hitmonchan decks, these Pika Zekroms, and things like that all day long.
And the weird thing about it, Trevenant kind of falls to that tier of decks that is completely meta-dependent. It can't really thrive on itself. It really thrives on the meta being perfect for it. While it can have some decent results, it has to be the right meta for it, and this is one of those calls here. Kind of like how Greninja is. Greninja can kind of take the back seat at times, and then once that right tournament pops up, it has great results for that one tournament, and then creeps back into the woods a little bit because it ain't always there. And this is what kind of happens with Trevenant at times. We haven't heard of it in a while, and new bans, lots of basics, lots of fast accelerating decks. I think it's his time, and it's showing his prowess here in day 2.
Absolutely. Stephane's going to be on the rip here, so going to get 2 turns of, a turn of items, potentially 2. Andrew does need to have the Phantom in the active, does need to Ascension into the Trevenant to get the item lock going. Has the first piece of the puzzle, as we see there. Phantom on the right-hand side of your screen, Hitmonchan on the left. Psychic Weakness on top of everything else is just making this difficulty. Glad we get to show off 2 new decks. Well, a new deck and an old dog with new tricks.
Old dog with new tricks here. Andrew picking up the Nihilego there, trying to read exactly what that does. Maybe Nihilego could pull off some Silent Fear tricks right back at Andrew Estrada later on, possibly.
And what's the other attack? Is it Poison Tentacles or something?
Yeah.
Poison and Confusion.
Frozen
something.
Confusion, yeah.
Shuckle comes down.
Okay.
Stephane may be carving out a brand new game plan that some of us aren't privy to. Mystery Energy right on top. So unless all the Trevenants on Andrew's side of the board are prized, then we will be able to ascend into some item lock. Cynthia for Stephane. He's going to draw 6 after playing down 5 cards of his opening hand, 6 including the Cynthia.
I'm looking at the Shuck right now. I'm just reading this text right now. It does say just prevent all damage, not damage counter, so Silent Fear can still get touched by it, even with the energy count there. But maybe the strategy here is to pull off a paralyzed play with Wrap GX and stall for a turn. No Silent Fear.
Triple Poison
as well. So there's a couple outs here. But the biggest thing is that it is 2 prizes eventually that Andrew can take.
Yeah, Stephane, and also playing the Shrine of Punishment, so others are going to take up on his own Pokemon. The fact that Andrew is benching a Tapu Lele GX now, kind of a glimmer of hope for Stephane. At least he has a Guzma target that can relieve him from the item lock, so he can advance his game plan and doesn't have to struggle as hard as we saw him in Game 1. Andrew Estrada, Bridget off the cuff, Phantom. Is it Ditto Prism time? Is it prized again?
Oh, right, nope,
Ditto
there it
Prism.
Is.
Yep.
Brought her right to the top there once you saw it there.
Going to grab those 3, going to look through. Nice art on the Versus Seeker there. We see it at the bottom of the deck.
I think that was what, Supreme Victors that set came in? I'm pretty sure it was Supreme Victors.
Looks good. Looks good.
Like, I still remember a lot of these different card sets.
Was Andrew Estrada in the 2014 Worlds match where he Colressed himself to 1?
Yep, that was that match exactly there.
You got to respect going that hard in the paint. You got to respect that.
Biggest stage. All eyes on you.
He looks at the camera,
Camera.
dabs or whatever the kids do.
I don't know.
and
That was
then
2014. It might have been like a peace sign or something. I don't know what it
It was
is.
probably Crank That Soldier Boy, right? 2014.
You.
Anyways, Phantom, Mystery Energy, Ascension into Trevenant. Item lock is active. Ditto Prism on the bench, 2 Phantoms. Tapu Lele GX. Andrew's got to be feeling good about his setup here, and I believe he has a Sycamore in hand for next turn.
Yeah, he's feeling good right now. I mean, his matchup in general should be what some would say free, and yeah, he's just running as a deck, running through the motions with the deck.
Let's see, Stefan going through the paces here. Item lock is active.
Hitmonlee coming to the bench.
Gotta love the art on these Lost Thunder cards. Slice off ability from Kartana GX and a Cynthia again. Hopefully Stefan can maybe find a strong energy, get the damage up on that hit and run, go to Shuckle. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's hard to come up with a strategy right now. I mean, the strategy right now is attack and pray in a sense. Really just get as much damage you can with your fighting enhancements there between Muscle Band and Diancie as well. Strong Energy is another card here, and it's hope that you can hold off this inevitable Silent Fear.
I want to point out, though, that if Andrew does miss the Pyroar evolution on that Ditto, Hitmonlee can step up and use that special combo and scissor kick that goo into space before it can do anything. Shuckle being red, Shuckle being put back down, carrying a float stone. Ditto goes to Trev. Ditto Prism evolved to Trev.
I mean, I think you realize at this point here that, I mean, one, Pyro could be priceless. That could be one thing. Two, Trevenant did so well. That strategy did so well last game. Why not just overdo it again?
Yeah, just over 30 minutes left in the match. Maybe thinking, like, if this goes completely sideways, I can still salvage in a game 3. I am favored in this matchup. But for now, just putting down another Trevenant, playing N. Both players going to be drawing 6. I do like this Hitmonlee, though, can actually do work, snipe some Phantoms, and put in some good work.
It's a good it all depends if they evolve this turn here. That's a good point that Hitmonlee can snipe those Phantoms on the bench as well, and not get KO'd in return unless he were to commit to a Tree Slam play. So looks like there's going to be a Silent Fear here.
Do we have a Dimension Valley in play?
It looks like that's what it is by where his prizes should be.
Oh, what that glare card is? Okay, very nice.
Yeah, what the glare is at.
Very good. Right by his deck there, just north of his deck, above the Tapu Lele GX Dimension Valley. Kind of a precarious spot for Stefan, though. Has no way to bump that Dimension Valley unless he plays down Shrine of Punishment. And Shrine of Punishment is just going to tick up infinite damage onto his board between the Shuckle and the Kartana GX.
I think that's actually, I'm thinking about it now, Kirk, and I think you made a good play here to be able to stream Hitmonlee on the Phantoms, because it's going to force Andrew to have to use Tree Slam here to disrupt that strategy. So essentially he goes, right now Hitmonlee takes the KO on a Phantom. He has then the option to either A, Silent Fear again, and spread damage around, or Tree Slam, take the Hitmonlee out. You then hit with a hit and run Hitmonchan again, Rescue Stretcher, repeat to another Hitmonlee.
So we're going to see, I think, Nihilego second attack, I think, that confuses and poisons. Void Tentacles. I was close. I said Poison Tentacles before. I'm going to give myself moderate credit. Stefan, learning the kid. Hey, this is how you spin it when you're confused, my guy. Mystery Energy isn't going to make it easy for that Trev to get out of the active. It's going to cost him that energy because it only reduces by 2. Trev has that retreat of 3, but worth a consideration there. Maybe Stefan didn't hit any sort of Prism or Strong Energy to put on the Hitmonlee.
Ooh, that's true too. It looks like his Faba's going to get rid of the what is maybe the Strong Energy on the
I like going for the Strong Energy.
The Beast Energy is going to go to Lost Zone anyway if you find an Enhanced Hammer here, so just to get rid of that Strong Energy.
And you do play 3 copies.
Okay, so going with the Beast Energy.
A little bit more of a conservative play, sticking with preventing what's in front of you from doing too much work.
It also doesn't allow Nihilego to retreat either.
Great point. Great point.
So what Trevenant likes to do at times is to bring up somebody heavy and then Silent Fear around, force him to use resources to get out of that point there. So doesn't do. He attempted Silent Fear. No, he did not. He just took the poison.
Just took the poison and passed. Interesting side note, a deck that actually would have been considerably strong today would have been a Waylord stall deck. Would have been very strong in this tournament. Once you've weeded out the Zorarks and the Picaroms, if you could get past that point in the tournament, you're just facing Trevs and Hitmonchans and other special energy-based decks, especially like that counter energy deck and stuff like that. And you can really take them to the woodshed with 4 enhanced hammers.
So maybe the secret deck for the next weekend could be a resurgence of a Waylord.
See, I don't think so, solely because I believe that Zorark is poised to come back and start whooping in just to eat up these Trevs. So even people were getting ecstatic about Turbo Dark yesterday in the chat, so that could be an option as well. So Guzma attach hard retreat. I believe that was a double retreat.
Oh.
Okay, misstep here. Got to ascend. Hopefully that Trev's in the deck.
Oh, it is 2 retreat costs. Yeah, 2 retreat costs. Heavy little tree stump there. Wasn't able to get out the active spot. Roots are still stuck.
Fortunately enough, Andrew was able to ascend and get at least the item lock going again.
Yep.
So it's like a little bit of a misstep, but not completely out of luck. Enhanced Hammer coming down, fighting energy, or excuse me, strong energy going to the discard. Stephane off the top, I believe that's a Karina.
Karina, yep.
Special combo, not one of those attacks that has a number plus. It literally does nothing if you don't hit and run. So an awkward Pokemon to have stuck in the active for sure.
Is that Hitmonlee's only attack on him?
Mega Kick for 90 requires 3 attachments.
Ooh.
And
rough.
With Stephane only playing special energies and Andrew playing Faba 4 versus Seeker 3 enhanced hammer.
It's going to be kind of tough to pull off there.
Yeah, see, I can see that being a little difficult. Grabbing Diancie and enhanced hammer, perhaps setting up for next turn with a Guzma if it's in there. Just some quick passes between the two players. N
ends it all
that,
away.
That's a cute Karina. Let's send all that back.
It's really unique that Andrew's playing that blend energy to be able to attack with Pyro as well. Just so that power, even though it's in an active spot, you're at least putting in some usage with it also by attacking with it as well.
Absolutely, and I think that's the only way you can get away with playing Pyroar, because if you aren't applying pressure with it in the active, then there's no real stress on the opponent to do anything.
Understandably.
So you can conserve resources, you're not forced. Now when you're attacking for, I believe it's maybe 90, discard a fire energy to do maybe 20 or 30 more, then, you actually have real pressure and you actually have to make moves. Rescue Scarf coming down on the fresh Trev break. And to just a silent fear going around.
That's applying quick there, and if I'm not mistaken here, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan both have 90 HP. So those could be going to the bin here with one more silent fear.
Nihilego has 110.
110 for Nihilego, 170 for Cortana, I think 160 for Shuckle, maybe 170?
170 for Shuckle, 170 for Cartana. This is a sad state of affairs for Stephane's side of the board. Kind of on the brink of losing potentially the only 2 attackers he has in play. And all these ends, normally, when you're a little bit further behind in the game state, you're using ends to try and catch yourself back up. But Andrew hasn't taken a prize yet. He's just established his board. He's spread some damage around, and these ends, Andrew could shrug his shoulders and say, "All right, I'll draw 6 more. I can use my items."
Andrew's just chilling right now. He's more than happy with just going through the most, just drawing cards here and just applying pressure through silent fear. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything on Stephane's side to really escalate this matchup for him right now, outside of manual attachments, and really trying to power up those Hitmonchan.
So we see the strong energy coming down on the Hitmonlee hard retreat, and we're gonna hit and run.
He does have a Diancie in hand if you wanted to bench that down, get that extra 20 on this Trevenant here to negate that weakness essentially, but decides just to do the 30 damage.
30 damage into Shuckle.
It hurts so much doing 30 to 1, which Trevenant can do 30 to all.
Yeah, right. Andrew's working or excuse me, Stephane's working so much harder to not even come close to measuring
No,
up
it's
to that powerful Silent Fear attack.
does Andrew play the Tapu Lele by chance? The Tapu Lele promo? He does
I
not.
don't believe so.
He does
I don't
not.
believe
I was
so.
just generally curious because of how he's with these low HP cards here. He could just pull off obviously a really big turn right now if he had that card.
Yep. Silent Fear has been announced. Stephane's like, might want to take your prize there.
I believe Hitmonlee might be 100. I think Hitmonlee is 90 as well. Hitmonlee is also 90 HP, so that Hitmonlee should be KO as well.
Maybe. Can we take a look at Hitmonlee down there? Is that not what that card is?
Is that not Hitmonlee on the bench there with 90 HP?
Just want to make sure we get that right here.
Somebody else is going over there to check right now. It has 100 HP. Interesting. Okay.
I guess we pulled up the wrong version of wrong Hitmonlee. Working on a little bit of flood of information here in the booth. There it is. There it is. Hitmonlee special combo.
Hitmonlee is a little more defensive.
Has it just been in front of us the whole time? That's embarrassing.
No, it just popped up now. Did it?
It was there the whole time. Beautiful. We're looking at our phone trying to figure it out here. Jeff pulling up the wrong Hitmonlee. 100% his fault.
I threw myself under the bus just there, guys.
1,000% only Jeffrey Saran's fault.
My Twitter handle too? like bro.
Neil Lego stepping up. Void Tentacles focus, Jeff. When you make a mistake like that, you just have to recover and come back into it, try to get back in the flow of it. The Void Tentacles leaving the active Trevor.
I just got hit with Void Tentacles. I'm poisoned and confused sitting here on the side right now because Kirk just threw me under the Greyhound.
Computer search, getting rid of counter catchers. Those aren't going to do much in this matchup. Grabbing a versus secret. I love when people computer search and show their opponent the card and you're just like, yeah, this is what we're
happening.
Doing. 90. Let's see. Just gonna Guzma up.
Yeah, just Guzma to heavy stuff, man.
And are we gonna be able to take 2 knockouts here?
Now he is taking 2 knockouts.
Tree Slam
because Hitmonlee has 100 HP.
As I've always said, Hitmonlee with 100 HP. Now getting knocked out after the resultant Silent Fear.
Silent Fear, right on cue. 120 there, so 2 more Silent Fears, and it's gonna be a game.
It's gonna be a game.
He doesn't play any kind of like stall cards there in the sense of like Acerola or Max Potion, anything like that. Right now, he's just kind of Max Potion should be null anyway because of item lock, but AZ, Acerola.
Stephane plays none of those things.
I don't know. Gold Potion, that's an item also. Yeah.
We might see a Wrap GX this game.
Okay. He's going for style points now, getting the
Wrap
paralysis
GX,
down.
40 damage and paralysis. Andrew's like, what?
What is this thing? How's he gonna wrap me up? His hands are like, an inch long. Like,
yeah, I mean,
doesn't make sense.
It's the spaghetti turtle or whatever its Pokemon type is.
Yeah.
Doing Wrap GX, paralyzing, dealing 40 damage, enhanced hammer
oh my gosh.
just for the lulz.
I feel like Stephane probably has the biggest headache right now. Unfortunately, it's just everything's not going. There's nothing going his way at all.
Nah.
Everything he tries to do, the door slams shut right back in front of him.
Mysterious treasure for Andrew allows him to search through that deck and find any dragon or psychic type Pokemon. Grabs the Trevenant Break. Solid choice. Solid choice. No Giratina promos found on Stephane's side of the board.
Actually, I don't think there's really many in this weekend at all. No one really expected this resurgence.
Just a pass. Paralysis is over. And Stephane, with no energy on board, 2 GX Pokemon with 120 damage each. Where do we go from here, Jeff?
We go
Wobbuffet Prism Dimension Valley. Get a Psychic Assault knockout.
Get a Psychic Assault on him right there.
Psychic Assault knockout.
Let's go. Yep, it is knockout. Does 90 damage there, so we'll knock him out. Hey, we take the points where we can.
Stephane trying to find a way here.
He can get 2 KOs here. Essentially here with the Dimension Valley out there, he has the 1 on active and the 1 on bench, but both are going to go back to his hand.
Rescue Scarf, powerful card in these Trevenant decks, going to allow you to recycle those trees, replant them, reduce, reuse, recycle. Keep the earth green, folks.
Keep the earth green, folks.
And Andrew taking 3, Stefan taking 6, and 6 bad ones, I'm sure.
Probably 6 items, I would venture to say.
Psychic Assault. Give me a prize. Stefan says, I'm not getting out of here without taking a prize. He's like, this prize is going to make the difference.
This is the trophy prize right here.
So are we going to see an attachment tree slam? Or do you just Silent Fear, right? To get some more damage
just
around.
Silent Fear at this point. You're about to take both game prizes and 2 more Silent Fears.
Yeah, good point. Silent Fear. That blend energy coming down.
You know, it's funny. He can actually Silent Field his turn, I believe, and then get style points to Tree Slam for 5 prizes.
Is that accurate? Yes, it is. Yes, because those will both be at 150, 170 HPs. It's all.
I think. Oh, he's doing Tree Slam now. He didn't want to go for the style play.
All right. Well. Oh, so Tree Slam on the Wob, does it deactivate the protective shell ability? I think is what they were yucking on about back there.
I mean, there should be damage and effects there, so the bench damage should be applied before that happens there. So yeah.
It seems to be what the judge call was down on the floor. Andrew with 2 more Psychic Energy in hand, if I saw correctly. So if Stefan can't knock one off, Tree Slam or any attack for that matter is live on Andrew's side of the board, and we'll be able to mop this up these last 2 prizes by taking 4.
I honestly wish I would have saw the style play at this point, just for the glory. I mean, how many people can say today that took 5 prizes in one turn?
Not many, Jeff.
Not many.
Stefan, eyeing up a Guzma, going to try and do his best.
I like the hand motion there.
Maybe pulling up the Phantom because it does have that heavy retreat, and I think all the Trevs have been burned through. So maybe you can get it caught.
I don't know how many cards are left in Andrew's deck right now. There's a good little bit of cards in the deck right now, too. That's not really a strategy. I think he's just trying to see if there's anything to do to slow this down. Up. No, he's going to let him do it. Oh, no, he's just counting cards in his hand.
Retreat. Put up Cartana with 1 trillion damage. Guzma up the Lele. Back to Shuckle. Items, baby.
I get to play stuff now. We're going to Nest Ball. I'm going to get my Hitmonchan.
Already retreated for the turn.
Actually, mine's getting another Wob.
Yeah?
If there's even any left. Hitmonchan right there, yep.
There's just not a lot of great options, especially because...
Does he even have energy in hand to attach? I thought all of them got enhanced hammered.
Apparently not. Apparently they just haven't been hitting the board because it hasn't been relevant.
Yeah.
Shuffling up after that Nest Ball. Tons of items in the hand. You might as well play them down.
There it is. There it is.
Just an attach, retreat, knockout. That is a tough matchup for Stephane Ivanoff. Glad we got to get the Trevenant Pyroar deck on camera in these last rounds. So if we have the records correct on screen, I believe Andrew Estrada, 2014 World Champion, will be able to potentially ID into top 8.
That'll put him at 9-3-1, if I saw correctly there, which is – no, not 9-3-1. I was saying his record right now is 9-3-1, so he's probably not there just yet.
Yeah, so he might have to play it out.
He might have to play out the next round here, and also that means Stefan goes to 8-3-2, and that puts him also at 26 points. So a win there could put him also at 29. So there's still another round for them, I think. With the look at the top tables right now, especially if those Trev mirrors that happen more than likely again, ID'd or not, controlling their fate. It's just a lot of different things are happening in motion because of the matchups that some players may even concede to other players to boost their matchup there. We kind of heard that with Jimmy in the last interview that a Trev player might concede to him to boost him in the top 8 for an easier run to victory. So who knows? There's a lot of routes. There's a lot of routes in this map.
There's plenty of routes. I think the first step on this voyage is to get 2014 World Champion Andrew Estrada in here to talk about the Canadians and their Trevenant Break Pyroar deck. That five players playing it, 5 players found the spots in day 2. So the deck is good. The deck has been doing well, and excited to talk to him about it. We'll be back here shortly with round 13 winner Andrew Estrada. Welcome back. We are here with Andrew Estrada, round 13 winner with Trevenant Break Pyroar. First question is, how did you and the other Canadians land on this deck?
Holy. So this one guy Maine, he's my record. He's playing right now. He played the deck last week at a cup and he won with it. So, like he gave the idea to one of my other friends, and last night or Friday night we just all talked about it together. And then we all just ended up playing the same deck. So there's like 5 of us playing the Tree Pyro.
Yeah, the word on the street is 5 of you played it, 5 of you day 2'd.
Yeah, it's really good.
So obviously the perfect conversion rate. You got to be happy about that. Were there any changes you made from Maine's list that he played at the Cup to what you guys signed up with today?
It's pretty much standard. Like it's pretty much just like a consistent 4-4 of everything, or like 3-3 at least. We just try to keep it pretty standard. Yeah, just have the best odds of drawing stuff.
Excellent. So that puts you at 28 points. Still going through the figures to see if you can maybe ID into top 8, or if you have to play that winning in round following up. How do you feel against what we've seen all over the place, other Trevenant decks, if you have to face that in the next round?
I actually lost to it not last round, but the previous round. And it just comes down to luck, honestly. It's just like whoever draws more trainers loses, and it's just, yeah. We're still trying to determine, honestly, if like going first or second's the best way to go. We're still trying to figure it out, because the problem is if you go first, it's worse actually to go first if you start like a Phantom, or it doesn't matter what you start. But if you choose to go second and you start like an Espeon or a Lele, it's not that good.
You lose the game,
Yeah,
yeah.
you lose. Yeah.
So pretty vitriolic matchup for sure. Andrew, what do you want to see next round to be able to get you into top 8 if you do have to play it out?
Oh, some like setup deck, some Hitmonchan or Night March or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We did kind of feed you a softball for this last round. We wanted to get the deck on camera guaranteed. Definitely appreciate you taking the time. 28 points. Excited to see you make top 8. 2014 World's Champion Andrew Estrada. Thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back with round 14.